Guys, what's going on? Simon with you as always from Pinnacle Fitness Consulting. And today I've got one of my top clients with me, and we're going to get stuck into some sales training. So if you're a PT who is wanting to increase their conversion rates, who actually wants to learn how to sell without selling, would I be right in saying that, Dan? How to sell without selling, dude?
Absolutely.
And with this next point, don't get it twisted. I'm not a bullshitter, right? But how to nearly get a 100% conversion rate. There's a lot of rubbish around that sort of, claim in the fitness industry, 100% conversion rate. And I'm one of those people that will tell you it literally is BS. It literally is. But I'm not joking. This guy right here, he nearly has 100% conversion rate. Not that I'm jealous or anything like that, but look, it is what it is. This is what this guy does so well. And I think I mentioned to Dan, look, dude, it's something I want to take and I want to wrap into some sort of punchy training and give to you guys. Because if we can help any of you guys achieve what this guy is doing right now in his business, then I think it's a job well done, right? Because it's all about serving people. Hey, Dan?
That's it. That's
All
what it
right.
comes down to.
Sweet. So stick around. We're not going to get this and drag it out too long. What we're going to try and cover is three main tips, all right, that Dan can give you guys on the way he approaches his sales or his closing part of his consults and whatever you want to talk about it or whatever you want to call it, sorry. And then basically just elaborate a little bit more on the structure that he uses, which for me, I think is one of the main reasons why his conversion rate is so high. And in this here, I'm not going to take credit for it. We have worked and bounced ideas off each other on how to strengthen it and to make it become what it is today. But this guy, he's got something in how he pitches his product, which just really is the bee's knees. And if you guys want to implement it, I'm sure Dan will tell you to go for it. Obviously, then you've got to back it up and deliver it, right? But with that, without further ado, Dan, how's it going, my brother? How are you feeling today? How are you getting on?
Life is great, bro.
Life is great. It's always great, right? Okay, so look, let's get stuck straight in. What is sales to you, bro? Let's pre-frame it. What is sales to you? And then we'll go from there, and we'll just get stuck straight in.
It. We spoke about this before, and it's kind of funny to me to be on the sales training with you because I felt like I wasn't a very good salesman. I always had a bad stigma attached to sales because it seems so almost, manipulative and cunning and trying to create outcomes for yourself at other people's expense. And whenever I tried to do anything like that in the past, I really just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So, one of the things that I've learned is it's literally just a pathway to go from having someone who has a want and a need and servicing that need. And that's all it is. So I've changed my relationship with the word sales.
I love that. I love that. And for me, one of the things that made me change my relationship with sales, it's so well put, bro. I'm really glad you said that. Is when I realized the best way to sell is not to sell. And like I now have training on that. Any of you guys that are watching this, you jump into your portals, we go to stage 2.1, sales training. The best way to sell is not to sell. And I think, would I be right in saying, I mean, we've obviously, we communicate with each other every day, Dan. There's a large part of that in what you're probably about to come across with next.
Absolutely. It really all comes down to that.
Yeah. And I definitely vouch for that. I think it's something sales, you guys watching this, like it's normally something that people put themselves under humongous pressure with. Why? Because they're selling something where they're going to be benefiting financially from it. And people often, when focusing on the financial gain, can actually lose track of how good a coach they are and how good a service they actually provide, like this man does an amazing, flawless job of. And like I said before, implement what this guy does, but you got to back it up. This guy walks the walk and talks the talk. They get caught up on trying to take people's money, right? And if you're doing that, then this training is going to change the way you look at it. So with that being said, let's get stuck in. And again, we're not going to take too much of your time here. Dan, in any order that you seem best or deem necessary, 3 top tips that you can take away, not only just from working with me, but combining your extensive experience in this industry with my input, that's turned you into the sales beast that you are today, my man. So talk us through it. Step number 1.
Okay, so number one, we prefaced that the best way to sell is not to sell. Now let's actually touch on that, because that is the best tip. And what that does is, if you go with the intentions to not sell, your body language is going to be different. Your energy is going to be different. There's not going to be that awkward energy. I literally go into a consultation really open, just thinking, I'm excited to see this person and find out how I can help them. So they usually would come to me with particular pain points and obstacles that have stopped them getting their way. I know I've got the remedy. So it's taken all the pressure off me. I have a large, I guess, belief in what I do. So I'm a lot more comfortable in just being able to sit there and let them talk and know that I can come up with, I guess, the pathway to those outcomes. So rather than any kind of sales jargon or anything like that, because as soon as I start to think about tips and techniques and stuff, I tighten up and I'm not my comfortable self. So it's just about going in there with the right goal in mind to help people, and you'll be a lot more relaxed. So that's my number 1 tip.
I love that. I love that. That's the number 1 tip. I think with what you said there, it should really hit home with people. Yeah, like, if you're there to serve people, you should know and have, there's something Dan said there which I want to pour a little bit more focus on. The belief, right? The belief in what you are selling, which is your service, for me is everything, right? The amount of times that I have come across trainers who have told me, Simon, I don't believe that, like, I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't pay that for a PT. I used to pay $120 an hour, and we're talking like 5 years ago, when I hired my first PT, and people are like, what? Like, some people instantly, walls go up, right? As a PT who knows they can help people, but based on a monetary value, they won't believe in themselves because of what other people think, because of what they think other people will think about their cost, right? For me, it's priceless. That's what I see myself as a coach. This guy here as well. It's priceless. Like, you've got to have that undeniable, unbreakable belief in yourself and your product, which obviously, price wise, we don't want to go in there and overcharge and charge it, astronomically. But you've got to value yourself and believe in yourself, right, Dan?
Absolutely, and that's a good segue to tip number 2, which is belief.
Love it.
I don't believe in, like, obviously no matter what you do and practice, you're going to get better at. So doing lots of sales consultations, you're going to feel more comfortable. But for me, my conversion rate wasn't due to that. It was due to the belief in what I was doing. It was improving the quality of service with you as a coach as well, leveraging certain areas, having trainers and having a better quality of service, increased my belief system. So it's not a sell to me. Like, it's literally, you're coming here with a problem, I have the solution, and this is what we charge to get it.
Yeah.
I believe in this price, and that's it. Like, I don't feel the need to sell them on them. So increasing my belief with that, through quality personal training and getting great results, testimonials, and feedback from people, has given me the belief to sit down with someone and just walk them through it.
Yeah, I love it, and it does it combines perfectly with that first point of the best way to sell is not to sell, right? If you
Yeah,
believe, because you have to, like, we're not talking rubbish here. Like, I believe I'm the best. You have to believe you're the best. If you believe you're the
yeah,
best, and you've got to think about it like this, guys, as well. And if you're watching this, take this one, right? Think about this for a second. People aren't silly. If they're coming to you, they know they're going to be pitched to, right? So these guys are coming with an open wallet, let's call it, right? They're coming with an open wallet. They know for a fact, and look, yes, you're going to get some people who want to come and claim the free session and all this sort of stuff, right? However, they're not silly. They know that they're going to be sold to. A lot of the time, people won't just based on not believing in themselves will ruin their own sales pitch because they just simply don't believe. If you
Yeah,
believe and if you can then put it across in a way which is, I have the answer to all your problems, and they can see from you that they know you're not doing this for any monetary gain. That's so crucial, right? People can see it if you're trying to push and if you're objection handling too hard, right?
yeah.
Like it's like the best way to sell is not to sell, like Dan said, right? You're going to drive them away. People are prepared to buy, right? And most
Yeah.
of my clients will tell you this. This guy is just one of the top of the pile. So yeah, belief into it, and people will buy into your belief at the end of the day, right? They'll buy into your belief because they believe in you. You're the professional. Let's
Yeah.
go, right?
That's it. Anything else above that, it comes across too pitchy. And when people feel like they're being pitched to, it lessens the rapport and the relationship as well. I like to just be level with people, and you come to me with your problems. Let's talk about it. If they feel like I'm having some kind of techniques, and I'm trying certain things, or I'm objection handling too much, then they feel like they're being sold to. So my energy is different, my comfort is different now because of the belief. So that's where that really comes into it.
Yeah.
And going into the third point, belief is very important as well. My third tip is not only now that I have a good belief system, but a really good improved quality of service, which makes it really easy for me to do the close. Now, before I was working with Simon, I was doing everything myself. So I had to charge a higher premium because, my time became that valuable. I was, kind of getting seeked out a bit. So I had to charge more per sessions. And then because I was so time poor doing programs and stuff on top of that. So literally being able to leverage with me as a coach, trainers doing the training, I can pass that savings onto the clients. So basically, it's a better quality of service for a better cost, and that's the easiest sell ever. So it's been so effortless for me to the point where I literally haven't broken out, the iPad with any slideshows or anything. I'll just sit there, find out what their problem is, tell them what the solution is, sign them up. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I love it, and like that's what we do here at Pinnacle. Like, I'm happy to amplify on this. Like when we set up people's structures of their businesses, we get you to move towards having a presentation that you can fall back on in your close, which takes away nerves. If you get any jitters, because again, people have this, right? Because they're thinking of selling too much. The best way to sell is not to sell. This presentation that we provide the businesses with enables you to have that comfort, that fallback. If you forget the value points that you're going to be giving to them as part of the value that you're offering, then you can fall back on the iPad. What Dan's just said there is basically he's taking himself from a trainer who normally freestyles a pitch and the value that they provide, which is normally training, one session a week, contact with me via email, right? Boring, rubbish stuff. If you're trying to sell that, you're going to be failing straight away. You need to offer more. To then go into a presentation where we provide, which is really easy, okay, to follow because it's right there in front of you. This guy, what he's saying now is the belief is that strong, he doesn't even use that because he's going off his own instinct and the know that he will just basically be able to get them anything that they desire because of the level of care that he has. So don't think, what I'm trying to say here is don't think just because Dan freestyles this, that it's possible to do that with ease. Like what this guy is doing it takes you to go from realizing that having nothing and being underprepared in a pitch is not right to then going to having something which he has used, but then mastering the art of how not to sell, which enables him to close with ease without anything apart from the words that come out of his mouth. And again, not to blow too much smoke up the guy's ass, but it's freaking amazing. So what this guy's saying to you right now, guys, take it in, because it is really, really, really powerful. And that structure, I think, top 3 tips we've gone through there. The structure is really something that, you know, we touched on, and I said, are you happy to share that, Dan? So with that being said, just to make it really clear, are you happy to finish off with this sales training by elaborating slightly more on how you personally deliver your personal training service and how it then ties in with what you said with that 3rd tip? Are you happy to go into a bit of detail?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's do it. Go for it.
But so before I do that as well, another very important tip that I'll say is, because we're going back to belief in being a competent trainer and knowing you have the solution, it's hard for me to let someone leave the room without me being the one to help them. I feel like if they're going to go anywhere else,
yes, man,
they're not going to get the quality of help that they should have got.
Yeah.
I'm that comfortable and competent in my services that's what makes it. So even if they have a few objections, it's not even about the finance. It's literally like, I have a solution for your problem. Yeah, stop fighting yourself and see for yourself. And I won't let them leave, not forcibly,
Yeah.
because they come around and they thank me for it later. So it just comes down to a deep, hard, embedded belief and confidence in what you're doing.
So hard to build that. So hard to build that, and you're dead right.
In going into the service, so again, I was doing everything myself, but now we've got to a point where I'm doing the coaching for people. I'll make people's programs. I'll make their, their meal plans. I'll attach their, I guess their accountability with, certain apps, and I'll contact them daily. Where before I couldn't do that, because if I was doing the personal training and I was doing 14 sessions in a day, if you did a PT session with me on Thursday, you wouldn't hear from me on Monday because I was just too burned out. So that's where the quality of services improved. We've got personal trainers doing the PT sessions and I'm doing the coaching. So we're actually a team. PTs love that. I love that. The clients have found a better quality of service with that. And that's where my belief has increased with that as well.
Yeah, I love it. They're getting the best version of you every day, not just, and this is huge to the part of like what we do at Pinnacle, showing people how to do what Dan's doing now, which is dominating scale and leverage, right? Dominating scale and leverage. I personally used to believe there was a ceiling, right? You get 40, 50 sessions a week, you're done. That's you. But that's not running a business. That's running a job. You get sick, you're done. You ain't getting paid. And then the next week, how are you going to make up 50 sessions, right? You got to drink a lot of coffee to do that, right? You can't do it. So now, look, it's one of these things. The model is flawless, right? But again, what I want to personally leave on here, guys, is you have to be willing to do everything and bend over backwards for your clients to put a model like this together, like Dan executes so well. Dan is not doing this to do less. He's doing this so he can give more to his clients, so that their service goes through the roof, right? There's a few benefits of if you run a model like this, that as a team we've been able to put together, is that your retention of clients goes through the roof. The quality of what they're paying, and what they're paying is a great price point for both the client and the business owner, for both. So both people are benefiting.
What they're getting as a team unity, for what they're getting, the price point is amazing, and again, increases that belief.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And look, it just, the knock-on effects are perfect. So I think with that being said, Dan, is there any other tips that you want to finish on, or we quickly roll through that top 3 again?
The tips are, we're going to touch on it in the top 3 tips. So let's start going through the top 3. The first one, the best way to sell is not to sell. And that is the most important thing, because people do sense that on you with your
Yeah.
body language, your tightness, your quivering tone, everything like that. I was a horrible salesman. I really was. When I was in that mindset to sell, I couldn't close and I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to do calls. I didn't want to do anything like that. And again, PT for a long time. Now, when I got to a point where I started doing closes, it was not because I needed to close for a financial gain. It's because, again, I want to help this person. My business structure is tailored to help this person with their needs, and let's just talk about it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Which, like he said, is that number one, the best way to sell is not to sell. Number two, wrapping it up into that belief, expand that a little bit more. So number two being belief, Dan.
Yeah, and it's more so, rather than just practicing your pitch, which is always going to be good as well. But it's more practicing your skills as a personal trainer, increasing your belief as a personal trainer, delivering results. That's what's going to help you close more than anything. I've been doing it for a long time, and just knowing my competency and the results I can deliver just made it very easy to close people. I felt as the years went on, I got better at sales as I became a better PT. So
Yeah.
that belief is everything.
Very, very unique, isn't it? That you look at, I became better at sales as I became a better PT, right? And the science behind that is because he believed in himself more over time through being experienced and becoming a better PT. He just simply knew, and I love how he says, I didn't want to let anybody leave the room without letting me give them the opportunity to be the coach for them, because you just know you're going to be the best, right? And then number
Yeah,
three
that's it.
being that faultless structure, which enables you to give more and pass the savings to the clients. Wrap us up on that one, Dan.
I think business 101. If you want a successful, scalable business, it's have an improved quality of service with a decreased price point for the consumer. You do both of those things, which we've been able to do. It's again only going to increase that belief system, but then you can touch on that to literally pass those savings on. So most of the times when it comes to closing a sale, it's the financial is the objection. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it is. So if you literally just soften that part by, like, you're getting a really great quality of service. This is what I was charging before because I had to, but now I've been able to pass those savings on to you. You've just taken away one of their major objections. So that that is one of the main differences now that I'm at this close to 100% conversion rate working with you, that I've noticed by coming in with what I used to do versus what I am doing now, and passing those savings on to the client.
I love that. I love that. And it's because of the structure of him having a leveraged business with trainers that enables him to pass those savings on. And what I want to do personally, guys, is do my best now to deliver you a golden nugget. If you don't have trainers, right? If you don't have what Dan has, because for him now, that pitch, thanks for delivering it today for us, bro. Like, honestly, that your input is amazing, and I hope it helps all the people watching. If you are a PT who doesn't have, because let's be honest, like, you're in a very small percentage of people if you've got to a level where we help people get to at Pinnacle, where you leverage and you employ staff, right? If you're not, think of how you can deliver that third point, right? How you can say in a close that you're able to give more, all right, and pass the savings on to them, right? Personally, what I would do for that, and it gives you a bit of an insight into what we do, is think of a way in which you can give them more without giving them your tangible time, right? Because for Dan as a business owner now, he's being able to drive his business forward, and his growth is actually getting quicker because he now finds himself having more time to work on his business rather than in it. Think of a way, guys, we'll call single PTs, right? Single PTs. Think of a way in which you can offer even more value, right, to your clients, which will enable you to potentially even bolster your price point and therefore increase that conversion rate, which is what we've wanted to try to do with this sales presentation today. Think of how you can do it. And eventually, when you get fully booked, because you will, this guy was fully booked for a long time because he believes he's the best in his area, right? And he is, right? Then you can hire the staff, then you can do the leverage, and it makes it even easier. And you can use that amazing pitch that Dan says about passing the savings on to the client. It's very, very powerful. And I think that's one of the things to finish on to, is to say that, through leveraging and having other professionals that are well equipped and well trained with our methods, it enables me to be with you more, you to be still getting your training sessions, but then pass the savings on to you. That wording is faultless. It really is. So that's pretty much it from me. Dan, is there any other value you want to give?
I think we've touched on the main points, and this is not your typical kind of sales training. Sales training that would usually go through a lot of techniques. It's just about being comfortable, and just know that you're there to help them, and that'll soften it for you. That they need you as well. They've got pain points that they need help with, and if you literally provide the solution for that, then you just have to slap a price tag on that and keep working with them. It just take away a lot of the kind of intensity from a sales pitch, and just be comfortable with it.
Yeah, 100,000,000%. One of the worst things you can do is focus on money, guys. Never focus on it. Focus on serving. Change people's life. They'll pay you more than what your wildest dreams could imagine if you do that for them. So make that be your driving force. There's the little finishing touch. Dan, thank you for your time as always. And guys, if you've watched this far, thank you. And hopefully we've helped you being able to improve your conversion rates, take away the fear of sales maybe. And if you need any help on growing your business, you know where to turn. Pinnacle is here. And we speak to you very soon in the next training video. Thanks for tuning in, guys.